So we have, I'll mention this a couple times. So a concept called site health, which is how well is your site doing? This isn't about how your site looks, but about how your site performs. And Google is very sensitive to the performance of your site. Are things loading quickly? Do you have good links that aren't broken? Do you have good backlinks that are not from toxic websites and other issues? And we offer a digital marketing site health report, a free health report. And if you go to 21cm.global/free site health report, or equivalently 21cm digital marketing/free site health report. And Lynette has put that in chat, so that link is available. If you have an existing website and you'd like us to take a look at it and produce a report for you, we would be happy to do that. So tonight we're going to do our usual, which is each month we do a tip of the month. And tonight Lynette is going to talk about 5 ways to avoid sending your emails to spam. They don't do you much good if they end up in spam. So how to avoid that. And then myself and Anjika and Lynette are going to speak to customer-centered website design. So without further ado, let's jump to the tip of the month. So Lynette,
Yes,
you ready?
I am ready. So today I wanted to go over 5 ways to avoid sending your emails to spam. These are not all the ways, but these are 5 very good ways to avoid getting your emails missed and making sure that you get the exposure that you work so hard for. Next slide, please. I want to start off with a few stats, a very quick data dump. So 92% of online adults use email. Next slide. 61% of consumers prefer to be contacted by brands through email. So remember that, that's very important. Next slide.
I thought all consumers wanted us to call them on the telephone.
No, don't do that. Please don't do that, especially now that we have too many spam callers. And then 99% of email users check their emails every single day, some as many times as 20 times per day. And I know from our stats that some of our subscribers check their emails more than that. So that's a good little tidbit. Next slide. 58% of users check their emails before they even check social media or the news. So for those of you that wake up and grab your phone and scroll through, there are a lot of people that check their email first. Next slide. So here we go, 5 ways to keep your emails out of spam. Go ahead to the next slide. So tip number 1, make sure you send emails to people who actually want your email. Be careful, never rent or buy an email list. That is a big issue. That is how you get very unengaged contacts and maybe not even legitimate emails, and there are legal implications. You should not send any emails to anyone that did not explicitly say they gave you permission to send them emails. So do not do that. And that is in violation of the CAN-SPAM Act. And that will also put your business reputation on the line. You do not want to look bad by doing that. Next slide. Next tip is don't use clickbait subject lines. So these are the subject lines that are most likely going to end up in the spam folder, because email providers will filter these emails that have these so-called trigger words. If they see any trigger words like extra income, fast cash, clearance, you know those are probably scammy or they're just unappealing. So email providers will most likely filter those and send them to your spam folder. And if you are the marketer, you just dumped all your money, time, and effort in the drain because your customers will never see these emails. Another thing to be very careful about is check your grammar, check your punctuation, so it actually looks like a thought out email and a legitimate email. Next slide. Another tip is update your email footer. So here's a little snapshot that I got from the Monterey County Weekly. They make sure to put their physical address. They make sure to put an unsubscribe option so that, you know, even though we don't like to say goodbye to our subscribers, they should still have the option if they're no longer interested in your services or your marketing. And this will together when you put this together, it looks like you're a real legitimate business. And of course, whenever these information change, make sure you update accordingly. Next slide.
So if I can just make a brief comment here, that the thing we need to remember is that the machines are reading your email and scanning for all these things. So this one, because the mailing address is there, that looks more legitimate to them. So this isn't just so that the people receiving the emails think it looks like a legitimate one. It's Google. If you know it's going to a Gmail account, Google is looking and scanning, and they are getting smarter and smarter about figuring out what's not legitimate.
Yes, that's correct. And the more spam emails that Gmail can sort through or read with their technologies, the more sophisticated they get in filtering out these emails.
Yep.
So going on to tip number 4, keep an eye on your email stats. So many businesses, when they build their email list, they send out email blasts, but what happens after that? You have to make sure you look at the statistics you get back. So how well are you doing on your open rates? That means how many people actually open your emails out of the ones you send out. Delivery rate, so that means how many actually make it to the inbox. Sometimes they bounce. That means they probably don't have a legitimate email, or they have a filter on emails coming from you. Click rate, how many people open your emails and actually click something. That's important to put a call to action so they have something to click and take action. Unsubscribes, so how many people are no longer interested in your services or your marketing. And of course, spam reports. That means they saw your email and they thought that they shouldn't receive it. So they will report you as spam, which is not good because let's say Gmail gets enough spam reports from your email address, you're going to automatically go to the spam folder next time you send that email. Okay, next slide.
We've got a question in chat from Kathy
Sure.
Bell. She says, my company is web-based, so my business address is my home address, which I do not want to post online, which is a very good idea to not post your home address on. What should she do?
How about get a post office box?
Yeah, some people do that. Or another good way to make your footer look pretty professional is also give them a way to contact you. Put your email address, of course, put your name and your website to link to. That could be an alternative, but it might not be as strong as an actual physical address. But yes, Anjika, some people do sign up for a PO box because either way, most businesses need a way to accept mail.
Yep. There are also organizations. I work with a co-working space in Monterey, and you can set up a virtual email or a virtual mail address there where it'll get delivered to that address in Monterey. Cool.
Oh, that's awesome. So places like Hello Desk will like allow you to receive mail.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, so those are some solutions. Tip number 5, send targeted and relevant emails. So you need to make sure that to maintain a healthy and engaged email list, you need to make sure you're giving your customers relevant and valuable information. If you're not sending anything that will make their life better, that will educate them, inform them, entertain them, or inspire them, please do not send that email. That will make your brand look not good, and it will make your customers probably unsubscribe from you. So as long as you're giving them beneficial information or value, perceived value, then go ahead and send that email. If not, please do not send that email.
I call that the IEI rule.
Yeah. Thanks. Next
Well,
slide.
if we reorganize it, it could be the EIEI rule.
How about you singing that song, Old MacDonald Had a Farm?
EIEI. Oh, there we go.
I need to add an O.
Oh no.
All right. let me get the working. There we go.
All right, so that wraps up my 5 ways to avoid sending your emails to spam folder. Number 1, don't send to anybody that doesn't want your emails and have expressed that they want your email. And don't be clickbait. Even though it'll get you some email opens, it might not even convert because, again, well, it might end up in the spam folder, or it might look scammy, or most of those emails will disappoint. Update your email footer for credibility. Keep an eye on your email stats. So if there are some undesirable stats, you might want to make some changes. And then send targeted and relevant and valuable emails. Only send those.
So we can put these 5 tips up on our social media. And if you guys want to follow us on Instagram and Facebook and such, then you can get a little reminder of everything that Lynette talked about tonight.
Yep, cool.
Yeah, happy to do that.
And so Lynette, going by your rule 2 here, don't be clickbait. So you
Mhm.
should never send an email in which the subject line is 5 ways to avoid the spam folder, right?
Probably not.
But it makes a great title and a perfect tip of the month. Thank you for that. That was excellent. Any questions anyone has?
So Percy and Kim said, how do you get your email stats? We use Gmail. So a common way that businesses keep track of their stats is they use a system called a CRM system. It's a customer relationship management system. So those include MailChimp, HubSpot, Constant Contact, and most of them have free starter plans. If you want to talk more about that, I will nerd out and talk to you about that all day. But Gmail is not as comprehensive, so I would recommend researching and looking at different CRM options. And those free services, usually they have free starter plan, will help you track those automatically. So it'll be free and effortless.
And I put your email address into chat there.
Cool.
If they want
Yes.
that.
Happy to discuss
That-
more.
Thank you. That was our tip of the month.